Hey guys, welcome back to Trendy Gadget. Today we'll talk about the Apple M2 chip, coming to redesigned 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pros. Let's head into it. The 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pro models. The 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro models due in 2021 will feature the most substantial design overhaul to the MacBook Pro line since 2016, as well as addressing issues that users have had with the MacBook Pro for years by bringing back older features like MagSafe, more ports, and physical function keys. The information in this guide comes from Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo and Bloomberg Smart Gurman, who have a good understanding of Apple's plans.
It is close to release. We are very sure that we will see a release of the new MacBook Pro M1X in July time.
Apple is working on a 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro versions. The 14-inch model will replace the currently available 13.3-inch model, while the 16-inch model will replace the available 16-inch model. The overall casing size of the redesigned 14-inch MacBook Pro is likely to remain identical to the 13-inch MacBook Pro, with the boost in display size coming primarily from a reduction in the machine's top and side bezels. However, there can be a small rise in physical height as Apple upgraded the 15.4-inch MacBook Pro to the 16.1-inch MacBook Pro. The physical dimensions change from 13.75 times 9.48 inches to 14.09 to 9.68 inches, and the 14-inch MacBook Pro followed suit. Both of the upcoming new models are expected to have significant design changes. The latest MacBook Pro models, according to Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, will have a flat edge design similar to the iPhone 12. With no curved edges like the current models. While Gurman has confirmed Kuo's report, his data indicates that the flat edge design might not be too different from the current one. He claims that the upgraded models will look identical to the current models, but will have minor design improvements, so we'll have to wait and see how important these design changes are. The heat pipe configuration used in the current 16-inch MacBook Pro model will be carried over to the new MacBook Pro models. The 16-inch MacBook Pro's thermal system was overhauled by Apple, which increased the size of the heat stream, added thermal pads, and increased the size of the heatsink by 35%. Thanks to improved airflow and heat control, the new thermal system will allow for the increased processing capacity, which bodes well for the performance of the Apple Silicon chips that are expected to be included. Also, make sure to write your thoughts in the comment section.
We've got white bezels, a white keyboard, new colors that basically match the ones from the new iMac, and a completely flat design.
The M2. Apple is working on a next generation version of the M1 Apple Silicon chip, which will be dubbed the M2 tentatively. The M2 is expected to hit the market as early as 2021, and we've already heard a few reports about it. Apple's Cupertino Laboratories are working on several successors to the M1 chip, and while we don't know the name of the next generation version for sure, it's likely to be named the M2. The M2 is expected to be released before the end of the year, and it could appear in the future MacBook Pro models. Apple is working on higher-end Apple Silicon chips, according to Bloomberg, that are supposed to significantly outpace the performance of the new Macs that still use Intel chips. Apple's next two M-series chip lines are planned to be much more ambitious than previously anticipated. Apple is developing silicon chip designs with up to 16 power cores and 4 efficiency cores, as well as a version with up to 32 high-performance cores for higher-end desktop machines, along with CPU upgrades. Apple is developing 16 and 32-core GPUs for its Apple Silicon chips, and research is underway for more expensive options with 64 and 128 cores. The GPUs will be many times faster than the ones used by Apple in high-end Intel machines right now. Though these high-end chip designs are in the works, Apple may reduce the performance of these chips, but given the excellent performance of the 8-core M1 chips, we can expect substantial gains regardless of what actually ships as a result of design or fabrication issues. Product possibilities. The M2 chip is expected to be used in the upcoming 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pro versions. Apple is working on a major upgrade to the MacBook Pro range, which will include updated designs, additional ports, and elimination of the Touch Bar and M2 processors. The M2 chips may also be used in larger iMac models that will be released later this year. The M1 chip is used in the Apple's 24-inch iMacs, which were released in April 2021. But there is a larger version in the works that is planned to use a more powerful Apple Silicon variant. Apple is working on a Mac Pro that uses Apple Silicon, but it isn't expected to be released until 2022 or later. Outlook on the future. In April 2021, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC, is said to have begun mass production on the chip. Since new processors take at least 3 months to develop, the next generation chips may be available as of early July. Apple intends to use the M series Apple Silicon chips in all of its Mac devices in the future, so we'll definitely see further iterations and upgrades to the chip lineup. Every year, Apple updates the A series chips using iPhones, and we expect the Apple Silicon chips to receive the same treatment.
Mark Gurman says that it could come as soon as later this year, but he's still open to the possibility of a 2022 release.
What do you think about the M2? Are you excited for it to come? Let us know in the comment section. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.